Welcome to the Real Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Tiaras, and today I have two special guests. They are former educators, and the best part about this is that they're a team. They're a marriage. They're married. They're partners in their business, and one of the best entrepreneurial couple that I know. My guests, Armando and Emily. Thank you for being on the show. I want to tell you a little bit about how they started. They're both educators, and Armando just took the leap all of a sudden to just leave his position, which you were a vice
assistant principal.
And then you just went head first. So tell me a little bit about what made you start the real estate and how you got into the business.
Of course. We were in education for about 16 years in total. I got in it because we always wanted to have something of our own, some type of business. We know we didn't want to work, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, be away from our kids, pretty much, from the family.
Right.
So the first house we went to purchase, our friend of ours, name is Isaac, he's a realtor, and he showed us around. And the way he was with us, how he pointed things out, how he educated us on the whole process. We didn't know anything. So that I took an interest to how he treated us. So I went out, got my license, and started doing it while I was an assistant principal at the time.
Well, no, that's so from being a vice principal, tell me how hard it was for both of you to deal with the you working basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How did you guys deal with that?
It was tough at the beginning.
It was hard because he would work. School. He was in a high school, so high schools are he has to be there at 7 a.m. He gets home at maybe 5, depending. And again, when you're an administrator, your hours are always after everybody leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would get home and say, I have to go to a showing. So his days were super long. And then mine were long in the sense of by 4:00, 4:30 I was home. But then we had the kids, we had the girls, and then he was off doing showings. It could be at 5:00 at night, it could be at 7:00 at night, and he was, and that was for a few years.
Sunday.
So you did this while you were while teachers and having 2 kids, right? Because there's people that might say, "Well, I have kids. I don't have time for that." They're just living proof that within the thick of things, because the kids are a big responsibility. Yeah. You're going out and still trying to hustle to get better and to get a new career path is basically what you're striving to, and which you guys have done great. So how long have you been now in the industry?
Real estate, I got my license about 12, 13 years ago.
Nice.
But I didn't start till about 20, right before COVID.
Okay.
2018 maybe, when I started getting some traction with the teachers, administrators that would come to me. So
right.
Yeah, a lot of our first clients were teachers.
So we're very thankful for our teachers. That's how we got our start. That's referrals came all from the schools.
Right.
From the schools.
Yeah. And so tell me how you left your position and started, working with your husband.
Well, I was a counselor for we were teaching 15 years, and then I became a counselor. And then it started with doing little things for him, like his marketing. As he started growing, we started exploring different avenues. So marketing is very important when you're a realtor, because you got to brand yourself, you got to put yourself out there. So it was learning to do that. And then content and reaching out to different vendors to provide content for agents. So I started doing little things for him on the side while I was in counseling. And then since he was doing very well financially and he got very busy during COVID, he asked me, he's like, look, you may need to leave your job. I need more help, and I have a lot of clients and I can't get to all of them. So I got my license and made the jump. And
that was big, because it was harder for me to follow up with clients, and in this business, if you don't work it, you're not going to be successful. And
what was happening was a lot of his, you touch base, you make that first contact, and hey, I'm here to help you and support you in your purchase or your sale. But if you don't follow up, you lose them. They go somewhere else. They find an agent that's going to give them that 100% attention, and that's
Right.
what was happening.
And so right now, both of you are actively working as
Yeah.
realtors.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me how the work dynamic is. Are you both like out there marketing, or are you helping just Armando more with the marketing and you're more like behind the scenes?
I'm more behind the scenes. I'm very camera shy.
It doesn't
But,
seem that way because she's speaking very well, so I don't
Tell me
know.
about
I'm
it.
more behind the scenes. I get him the content. I tell him, hey, we need 3 videos this week. Get to work. Don't wear that shirt. Don't post. I will do all the posting, and I tell him stay in your lane. So I'm more behind the scenes.
She likes bossing me around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's more, I guess he's more confident because he's had more experience. So when he's out there with a buyer, with a seller, he has the verbiage. I don't have that yet. So it's more, like right now we have a client and I'm like, well, how should I respond? What should I say? And he helps me there. And, but yeah, I'm more behind the scenes and he's the face
Yeah.
of Delgado's homes.
I do. I like being in front of people. I feel like I connect with people instead of me. I hate calling. I really hated calling. So she did all the
I
calling.
call it.
Again, I like being in front of people. I can pick up the energy, okay, we can go this way, we can go that way. It's totally different when I'm in front of people.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I could walk into any like place of business, introduce myself, and try to get to the person that's in charge, but face to face. You get me on a phone, and then trying to get past that first initial, gatekeeper that they call them. That is really hard for me, and I don't like it either. But sometimes you do have to do it. But it's good that you help them with that.
I think it's But he's also really good too. But he doesn't have the time for it. He's always busy. He always has a client, and I think what benefited us coming from education was a lot of our first clients were teachers or administrators who wanted to buy or sell, and now we had like an influx couple of years back of students, because now a lot of our students are in their 20s starting their families, or they want to own something for themselves, and they've been, hey, Miss Delgado, and I need
Which is
help.
great.
And so it's been nice because you were with them when they were getting their education, and now you're with them in this big step in their lives, and it's really cool.
And they still call us Mr. and Mrs.
Oh yeah,
Delgado.
they can't call us by first. They're like, no, we're not going to call you by
No,
first.
can't do that. No. So
That's awesome. So I wanted to let everybody know that you do have 2 kids.
Yes.
You've been, you got into the mix of it while you were, in the thick of things with your kids. So it is possible to become successful in something in a whole new like business. You guys went from having a 9 to 5 per se job to your check
Steady-
is there.
steady pay, yeah.
You have your paid vacations, all these days, sick days. Now you have none of that. So you went
now,
from
yeah.
one
One
extreme
extreme
to the other. So tell me how you've been able to deal with that, because there's a lot to go into your business, because now it's not only marketing, you have to make sure that the accounting's done, who's doing your taxes, like how do you deduct, are you paying yourself now as a W-2 employee, and then and also so how are you managing that, and how did you get to that point?
I think we're still learning. We do have our accountant. She's great, by the way. But yes, we're still learning. There's times that we still see unexpected stuff. Even when we had our steady paycheck, something happens. It's life. Something's gonna happen, and you don't plan for it. So gotta pull from here. Gotta pull from the savings, or gotta pull from a credit card. So it still happens. But I think we've got it figured out a little better than before. So.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. It's not, you go from, like you were saying, a steady paycheck, something consistent, health insurance, all of that, to now
That's a
being
big
an
thing, health insurance.
independent worker. So insurance was through the roof, but then we found someone who guided us through the whole insurance policies and what we would qualify, and he's amazing. That's Jason. And we bought him a bottle of tequila because when he got us on this insurance plan, I was like, I can't believe you're saving us so much money here, And then with our accountant Danella, she just she tells us this is what you need to be doing. if you're going to keep growing, you have to change the business to this, or maybe start hiring people. Like it's been a learning process, and then surrounding yourself with people who want to see you grow and guide you. It's been super
and it's
helpful.
things that they don't teach you in school, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
ironically we're teachers, and
Yeah.
even when we went through school, we never went through anything like that.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and I know that that's happened to me as well. Being an entrepreneur and a business owner, there's always been that people that say, "Oh, well, I'm working on my own. I have my own business," and they think that they work less, but they don't understand that you guys are working more than if you were working your 9 to 5 job. Because now, if somebody calls you at 10 o'clock, you're going to answer it because
Exactly.
that's a possible lead that you're not going to let slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
So it's a 24/7 job now, but you do have that luxury of, hey, it's mine.
Yeah.
I control my own destiny. I help people get the American dream would be the house, and that's what we all strive for. Getting them. I'd love to help somebody. When they purchase their home, I love to see them. I help them get the financing of it. That's always been my favorite thing to do. So I'm with you with the marketing. I'm with you with all of that. The marketing's changed too. So when I was in the business back in the early 2000s, you had the radio ads. I'll be on the radio. TV ads. I would be on all the TV ads. But then you have this social media thing comes now.
Yeah.
So then now you got to figure out, okay, well, what I used to do back in the day doesn't work anymore. So what do I do now? So you're trying to figure out what's the best the next best thing for marketing. And then now you have AI that's messing with us. So what are you guys doing to help you with that marketing? Are you still trying to bootstrap it yourself and say, hey, I'm going to do it? Or are you trying to maybe go to a course, or have you even thought of that?
When we first started, the first time we dabbled with marketing, we got somebody to do Facebook ads. I still get phone calls from those, because I gave them a review, a video, and I still get phone calls from that review because
cool.
it worked, but it wasn't what we were looking for. There was a lot of work into it, so we were like, no, we can't do that. Then we got into Boomtown. Boomtown was really good.
What is that? Tell
Boomtown.
me.
It's a platform that
CRM.
that businesses use, mainly realtors, because it basically tracks your database. So it tracks your clientele. It draws people to your website by using ads. It does your website for you, and it even has AI that makes that first initial contact, and then you take it from there. So they'll send you notification, hey, so and so's looking for a property here, here, and here. They went on your website so many times. Give them a call, and that's when you make that initial call.
It was really intuitive.
Yeah.
It kept track of everything. We were able to see everything. They're looking at this time. They looked at this property this many times. So now we're looking at data. You need data. You need to have data.
And so have you left Boom now and went into another platform, or are you trying to do it on your own?
We left Boomtown now because now we're with a brokerage, LPT, and they have their own CRM, and it's similar. What's it called? Lofty. So now we have Lofty, and Lofty's the same thing as Boomtown minus the AI. And if you want the AI, that's a little extra. But since we have a database already of so many clients, we don't need to pay for leads to come in. We don't need to. We track it. Lofty still tracks it for you. But now we get it through our brokerage, and then we teamed up with a marketing company that's called Fusion
Growth Partners.
Right. And they also help us with the snail mail, going back to the basics of marketing, sending out those mailers, sending email campaigns, posting our videos, posting our content.
Instagram, everything we want them to do,
they do. So now I think I only touch Instagram every now and then when he does a content video, but then I could send it to them and they'll put our brand. They'll brand it for us, and then they'll shoot it out for us. So they've taken over a lot of the marketing for us.
Okay, so they're so they help you with the marketing. So you basically are using the Fusion Growth.
Yeah.
And what I like about them, which is they're only targeting the people, our SOI, our sphere
Our
rentals,
sphere, yeah.
whoever we know already. So it's just those people that know how we work, and those are the people that are gonna start. Hey,
Yeah, like
we go around,
they'll
we
call
do
us
this.
like, "Hey, I just got your cookies. That's awesome. Thanks for remembering. It's our year anniversary, and it's them." And then
Cool.
that leads into my sister's coming in. She needs to buy a place and makes that connection. Like it's kind of keeps you in the forefront, like in front of everybody.
A lot of the things they provided is something that it's seen as okay. You really took the time to see
the
what I
boxes are
needed,
big.
like the boxes.
Yeah.
We just send a client that is purchasing now in the Redlands. We send them. He didn't know we were doing this, so we send them. It was moving boxes. So when he got to the house with his kids, he saw the package there, and he
He was
called me right away.
surprised,
He was
yeah.
so shocked. Armando, that little detail. Oh my God!
Yeah, because
Awesome.
you need boxes. So
And this
thank you so much.
family, that particular client, this family, they've sold at least this will be like their sixth house with us.
Wow.
Their sixth house with us. So
That's awesome. So it's the little things that you
Yeah.
guys are telling me that are helping, and I really
Yes.
think having that, it's hard for you to build a business on your own. Like you can't do all the social media yourself. If not, you can't help them. Let's say
Right.
return calls and stuff. So that's a really good program that's helping you
Definitely.
keep up with the birthdays and like you said, the cookies and all this, which is really important. That's the difference. That could keep the customer for years and years because they're gonna be like, oh, this guy always remembers me on this day. And and that's always been something that has in the beginning of marketing they tell you, hey, make sure that you get everybody's birthday so you can send them a birthday thing. But what happens is that with Facebook or Instagram, you get like a billion thank yous. Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy.
Yeah.
Okay, my birthday, I don't even look at the page because I'm like, no, it's too much.
it is.
It's like 1,000 people saying happy birthday,
Then you
and then
just
you gotta
send one
go back.
message.
and you're
Thanks
like,
for
"Oh,
all the birthday wishes.
Yes, it's overwhelming, and then I don't think it's not personable. So it's just you and everybody else and their mother wishing you happy birthday instead of doing something out of the ordinary, which is really helpful. I think that's key. I like it. I'm even gonna look into it too.
Yeah, no, they're really good, and they're accountable. They hold you accountable, and we have monthly meetings with them, and we have a team of people that they do our letterheads. They did our logo. If we ever want something done that they haven't done yet, we tell them like, can we send mailers that we just sold this property within the area so people could see. And
Cool.
So yeah,
just pushing buttons.
just
Click,
push
click,
it,
click,
issue a
and they
ticket,
take care
and
of it.
they take care of it.
Remember
It's time consuming. It's time
Yeah.
consuming.
Right. Yeah, because imagine, I'm sure when you first started, you would have to do that type
Yeah.
of stuff,
Get the stuff
Ma-
printed.
mailers, oh my God, just to
Put in the
so much
stamps.
money just to mail something or an email campaign, like getting everybody in your sphere that email campaign.
Yeah.
And then you learn, because we have also another content company. They're called Keeping Current Matters, and they're just realtor based. So they could even make for you the email template, and they give blogs, and you tell them, I want this blog on my website, and they go for it. So it's really good.
What's the name of that one?
KCM. It's called
KCM.
KCM for short. Keeping Current
Keeping
Matters.
Current Matters.
And that's where I get our video content.
He gets a lot of the video. I love the video content. When you pay for like the full package, and then you could even film it off your phone. They have the script kind of like side by side, and yeah, it's really good. We've really taken advantage of that.
But
one.
now we know what to look for. Like there's shiny stuff everywhere for real estate.
There's so much stuff.
Somebody's always asking me, I have this, I have that, and sometimes it's trial and error. But now we know what we want and what we don't want and what works for us.
Yeah. I think that's one of the most important things, is that you're trying to market yourself, but then like you said, there's like a lot of people saying, hey, I do this, I do this, I do this, and then you're like, but do they do it good? Are they real? Or if they're or are they are they going to give you results? As long as you get results, it's worth every penny of it.
Yeah.
So that's something really important for you to have, and for others to know that there's tools for everybody. And in every business, it's just where do you find them? You've literally had to go digging for years. to get all this
especially
information.
with that, yeah. And then my brother helps with the videos. Bobby helps with if we have to shoot a house. He'll bring in the drone, and that's money for him, but it's also beneficial to us because it's someone we trust and we're getting good quality stuff.
Right. Yeah. No. And the thing is that obviously it's your brother, and and obviously he works for Google. We had him on the show before. When we had Steph on there, Bobby's a little camera shy, so he's in the background, videotaping us, but we can't videotape him. But
Listen, the video he does for us, when we send them out to clients,
they love it.
They love it.
We had a video he did for one house, and we hadn't even put it on the MLS yet to be active, and we had someone call us like, my clients want to see it. When are you showing it? Well, we're not showing it yet because the owners are still moving.
So just
and they
for
gave
that
us
video.
they gave us a blind offer, and we're like,
Okay.
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You those are things that the time has taught you, which is great, and that's why I like to do these videos, because it might help somebody that's maybe starting off in this industry or in any other industry, and know that there could be some tools out there that might help you. And right here we just we have 3 tools that we just discussed that you guys just help somebody, and if you're able to help just one person,
that's enough.
that would be great, because it's you always want to give back, right? And you guys are teachers, you always want to do that, and you've seen how much it gives back, that even your students are coming back to you years later.
Yeah.
So it's great to have that, to help out. I want to ask you, how have you been able to work on your business and your children at the same time? Like, what, because there's 2 different dynamics, but with full-time children are full-time, it's a full-time job, and also your business. How are you guys like separating the both?
Start.
Go ahead.
I think one of the benefits we have is that we're a team. So it's not, I do everything at home, he does everything towards the business. There's days that he's really busy, and then there's days that I have to just pick up the slack at home. But he cooks very well. I can't complain. So
there's some videos out there of me cooking.
There are some videos of him cooking, but it's a team effort. So if it's even on days if I'm sick, he's like, stay in bed, get a couple more hours, and I'll handle the kids, or we rotate. It's just a matter of, okay, Sammy's here, so I'm going here. Sophia has to go there, so we pair off.
We do have a routine. There is a routine.
We do, yeah.
But that routine, is kids.
Yeah, with the kids it could be
happen.
off, or we we're kind of in tandem. I think it's kind of one of those things, or the kids are like, "Where's Daddy?" And I'm like, "Oh, Daddy's showing a place. He'll meet us later." And yeah.
And even if they know we work. They know we
know we
work
work hard
at all times. So they understand. But we're also there for. They have an event.
We're there more. I think that was one of the biggest benefits of jumping is we're so available to them now. They took advantage of that at the beginning. Like they knew I was home more. So then they knew I was home, so I would get a text from my daughter, "Hey mom, I left my sweater. Can you bring it?" And I'm just like, "No, you're gonna freeze." So they knew I was home more. It was, "Can you pick me up early?" Or the vacations now.
Oh yeah, the vacations.
More vacations. They've seen a lot more vacations, which is great, and more. I love that we're more available to them.
So you have more freedom.
Yes.
Even though you have more of a workload, you still have more freedom because you control your own destiny.
Exactly.
So now I wanted to get into just really quick. I think you guys have given so much help to anybody that's listening to, and again, one person that you help is like a huge. What advice would you give somebody that might be in your shoes, that's kind of like not sure what to do, they're sick of their job and they wanna go to do something else? What advice would you give them?
I think it's, if you're gonna get into real estate, if somebody who's looking to get into real estate, I would do what I did. I would keep my job until you know what you're doing. So maybe join a team, have a mentor that can help you the first couple of few transactions, and then start doing it on your own, because it was tough. It was tough, not knowing what to do.
Now,
So-
are you open to any mentorship yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Because you are let people know you are a licensed broker as
Yes,
well.
I am. Yeah,
So you could have a team under you.
I can.
He
Yeah.
could, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a few agents that, ironically, they're former students.
Right.
Call him like, hey, Mr. Delgado, I have a client. What do I got to do here? So he's available. I'm available. But yeah,
Just teaching.
definitely when you
Yeah,
make that
exactly.
jump, you wanna kind of still
gotta have
have
support.
something secure, and you gotta have support. And I
Mhm.
think that was very difficult for him because he didn't know where to start.
And also tackle your SOI, your sphere of influence. The people that already know you,
Family, friends.
those are the ones
yeah.
you gotta go
So
after
you're,
first.
you're giving an
Businesses.
abbreviation there that a lot of people that are listening might not know what you're talking about. So just tell them what that is.
SOI is sphere of influence. So your sphere, so like you, for example, my wife, she has her family. Then I have friends, tackle their friends, because they know you already.
But
Those people have.
even businesses like your
Mhm.
mechanic, your doctor, your if you have someone, your go-to person, that's considered your sphere, because those are people who could bring in business because they know you already.
They deal
Okay.
with you.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
So
And it's-
that's
Mhm.
that's why I wanted you to
Go after
explain what you're talking about, because a lot of people might say, what is he talking about? What is that? And I think that that's really good advice is, go to the people you know already
Mm-hmm.
is going to be helpful, because obviously they're not going to shoot you down. They know you and they'll listen to you. So it's a lot easier
Yeah.
to work with.
So that's my two things that I would do differently if I was starting over again.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're
I'm on the same boat. I
Yeah.
think definitely you want to keep your steady paycheck until you're more confident in that area, but you got to realize it's going to be hard work because it's two jobs. And if you want to be successful and you want, that more of a more freedom in your day, you have to work at it. I mean, people sometimes look at realtors like, "Oh, you're a realtor." Everybody's
and
a
there's
realtor.
a lot of us in Miami.
Everybody's
there's
a
lot of
realtor.
realtors
In
there.
Miami, there's so many,
Yeah.
but there's so many people with licenses to sell real estate. But how many of them are active? How many of them are producing? We know a lot of agents who are killing it
Mhm.
within our brokerage, and they are doing amazing things, videos, luxury. But you got to work it, and if you don't work it, the money's not gonna come in.
They're gonna come.
right.
You can
So-
say you're an agent until you're blue in the face, but the money ain't gonna come in.
Well, that's good advice, because I know a lot of people that have gone into the industry and they're out. They're in and out because they think it's so easy. It's not
It's
easy.
not.
Everything that any money that comes in, you've worked for
Mhm.
it, and then maybe it looks easy right now because you have people calling you back, but you needed to do something to get them to call back.
yeah.
And you have to go show these houses, and then, like you said, you might have somebody run away. Hey, well, if Fulanito now went and bought a house, over here, and they
With somebody
yeah,
else,
with somebody
why
else,
didn't you
and-
call me? Yeah, it's
Exactly.
the
So
follow-through.
so you have all this competition, but even with all the competition, you've still managed a way of succeeding.
Mhm.
And there's still, even though there's so much competition, because they're always saying, "Oh, Miami's so much competition," but there's competition, but there's so much business that there's enough
Agreed.
to go around.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Perfect example is what we're closing now. We closed two so far. We got two more this week and one more probably next week. And those have all been from previous clients.
Previous clients.
So
And now we have, just recently, since we've been in the education system, and we're really big on educators, and we love informing them of opportunities for teachers to purchase properties, we go into the schools. So all of our kids, their faculty, the whole schools know us as, oh, those are Sophia and Sammy's parents. They're realtors. They bring us breakfast, So we sponsor a breakfast, and we just give them our information. And I had a teacher reach out, and so that's a potential client. You just never know, or a parent. Hey, so and so told me that you're an agent. Yeah.
Cool.
So it comes back. It comes back.
Yeah, but you also gotta put time in it. You gotta put your own money into it. Any business, you're putting more in, but the reward is there.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for being on here. You guys have been awesome. I wanted to get somebody like yourselves, a partnership that not only are partners in life but are partners in business.
Kind of like him.
And that would imagine.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, I love it. I love you guys that you came on here and and
Thank you for calling and
No,
reaching
thank
out.
you
That
for
was
having
awesome.
us.
keep kicking ass, taking names, all right?
Yes. Thank you.
Right.